All right, today we're going to dive into one of the most profound beliefs in Shia Islam. It's this promise of a future redeemer, a figure of ultimate justice and hope, known as Imam al-Mahdi. So let's get right into this powerful story of faith and anticipation. It all starts with a feeling that I think many of us know way too well. You look at the world around you, all the conflict, the corruption, the suffering, and it's so easy to feel this sense of despair. This is a totally universal human experience, and it really sets the stage for a spiritual answer to a very, very worldly problem. And right there, in those moments of darkness, for millions of people, faith turns towards a promise, a deep conviction that all this injustice, it isn't permanent, that a divine plan is still unfolding. And that promise, it all culminates in a single awaited figure. Now, this isn't just some vague hope. No, it's a core theological belief in an awaited leader who is destined to bring in an era of true global justice. This figure is known as the Mahdi, which literally means the guided one. So, who is he, really? He is the promised Mahdi, peace be upon him. In this tradition, he's seen as the ultimate restorer of justice, the one who will fill the earth with fairness. And what's absolutely crucial is that he is the final imam from the direct, sacred lineage of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him and his progeny. So, to really understand this, we need to explore his identity specifically within the Twelver Shia tradition. This branch of Islam is named for its belief in 12 successive imams, these divinely appointed spiritual leaders who came after the Prophet Muhammad. His name is Muhammad al-Mahdi, and he is the 12th, the final of these imams. The belief is that he is alive but hidden by divine will, and that one day he will reappear to fulfill his prophesied mission to establish peace and righteousness across the entire world. You see, his lineage is absolutely central to his identity. He's the son of the 11th Imam Hassan al-Askari, and his mother is reported in Shia sources as Narjis Khatun. This places him as a direct descendant of the Prophet Muhammad through his daughter Fatima and his son-in-law Imam Ali. That makes him a part of the Ahlul Bayt, the purified household of the Prophet. Now, to ground this in a bit of history, we can look at some key dates. He was born in 869 CE in Samarra, which is in modern-day Iraq. A really pivotal moment came in 874 CE when his father, the 11th Imam, was martyred. It was at this point that the young Imam entered what's known as the minor occultation. This then transitioned in 941 CE to the major occultation, which believers hold continues to this very day. So what on earth does this occultation, or Ghaybah, actually mean? This is a core idea that explains his absence from public life. But it's not an absence like he doesn't exist. It's more like a divine concealment from the eyes of humanity. Okay, so this occultation is actually understood in two distinct phases. First, you had the minor occultation, which lasted about 67 years. During this time, the imam would communicate with his followers through 4 specific appointed deputies. They were like a link. But with the start of the major occultation in 941 CE, that direct link stopped. The belief is that he's still alive by God's will, just hidden from public view until the time is right for his return. Now, this brings us to a question that naturally comes up. What do the historical sources actually say about the imam's personal family? You know, his wife and children. And here's the crucial point. There are no widely authenticated, definitive historical records that confirm the identity of a wife or the existence of children. Now, while some later traditions might mention possibilities, they aren't universally accepted among scholars. So really, the most responsible and accurate position is just to acknowledge that historical uncertainty. Okay, so we've explored his identity and this whole period of concealment. Now, let's turn to his ultimate purpose. What is his future mission, and what are the signs that are said to signal his return? So Islamic narrations, and this is across both Shia and Sunni traditions, they talk about several signs that would come before his appearance. Things like a world just filled with widespread injustice and oppression, moral decay, global instability, and major conflicts in the Middle East. Some traditions even mention the appearance of specific figures and a divine call that will be heard all across the globe. But, and this is so important, Islamic scholars strongly warn against trying to pinpoint dates or definitively say, oh, this current event is the sign. The timing of his return is considered a matter of the unseen, something known only to God. So, when he does return, what is his mission? It's actually elegantly simple and profoundly powerful: to fill the earth with justice exactly as it had been filled with oppression. His whole purpose is to restore the purest form of Islamic values and establish a system of moral governance for all people, uniting humanity under a banner of fairness. This belief is about so much more than just some future event. It has a really deep, personal, spiritual meaning for believers right now, today. So, what does it actually mean to be waiting for the Imam? See, in this tradition, waiting is not a passive act at all. It's an active, spiritual call to action. The message is to prepare for his arrival by first reforming yourself, striving to rise in your own moral character, and in your own life, being a helper of justice and an enemy of oppression, no matter how small the scale. I mean, just think about it. Our modern world is constantly searching for solutions, right? We look for saviors in new political movements, in gaining more power, or in the next big tech breakthrough that's going to fix all our problems. The spiritual path of the believer, though, it suggests a totally different approach. The real preparation isn't about looking for saviors out there somewhere, but about cultivating righteousness within. It's about an internal revolution of the soul. And this is what makes the whole concept so deeply personal. He's not just some distant prophesied figure. He becomes a living presence in the hearts of those who believe, a constant inspiration for hope, a motivation for patience, and a reason to strive for justice in their own lives every single day. And so the ultimate takeaway from this belief isn't just to wait for the day he rises. It's a call for us to rise today, to rise in our character, to rise in our commitment to justice, and most importantly, to rise in our faith.